Welcome to the 1 Minute Apologist. We interview the world's leading apologists to provide credible answers to curious questions.
Does evil disqualify the existence of God?
Well, I think there's two kinds of evidence, right? Inculpating evidence and exculpating evidence. Inculpating evidence is that evidence that inclines you to believe that this is true, a certain thing is true. This is the right suspect, this is the right idea. Exculpating evidence is the kind of evidence that excludes this guy as your suspect. Can't be him because he's got an alibi, let's say. Is evil in the world, in the universe, an exculpating piece of evidence? After all, if there's an all-powerful, all-loving God, how could he allow evil to exist? Either he's not all-powerful, he can't stop, or he's not all-loving, or he doesn't exist at all. So that's really what we're looking at here. Now, of course, the problem is we have to know as much as God in order to know why God would allow any evil. But in God's crime scene, I try to go through, I think, 4 or 5 or 6 different reasons why God might allow evil to take place. And some of these can be trivialized quite easily. So I don't want to do that. But I know this, in any horrific crime I've ever worked, if someone said, why did that happen to that little girl? Well, it's never one thing I can point to. It's a combination of incredible relationships between different events, different opportunities for both the killer and their little girl, all the different things that come together. And it's a very complex web of relationships that explains any single act of evil. The same is true anytime we try to explain any act of evil. When you look at the 5 or 6 or 7 reasons why God might allow anything, understanding their relationship to each other, what's the primary, what's the secondary, what's the tertiary, looking at the web of explanations has to be done before you could ever have a satisfactory answer to this. And that's what's so hard about this. Let me just offer one quick thing though. If, as an atheist, I was never, evil was a problem for me. It just was, because I believe that life was 90 years, a line segment, birth, 90 years, death. I want 90 clean, healthy years, have a lot of fun. That would be a good life. If I got sick at 40, suffered 10 years and died at 50, I'd have been upset. That would have been evil to me because I expected to get 90 good years. On the other hand, if I'm wrong about what life really is, and it's not a line segment, but a ray that starts at birth, extends through death, all the way off into eternity, I have to reevaluate what I consider was a rough time in the first 50 years, don't I? As a matter of fact, whatever might have happened to me in that first 50 years has to be reconsidered in light of eternity, an eternity of bliss. We all have gone through bad things for a short period of time, but when compared to the length of our lives, we've seen their role and what they did in terms of character formation, what they did in terms of other opportunities that took place. We are living eternal lives. If the Christian worldview is true, we're not a line segment. That's just one factor that I think helps to explain why we might see something we've been calling evil. Our view of eternity is incredibly important. When you offer that view in combination with all the other reasons why God might work in a certain way, I think we start to understand that evil is not actually an exculpatory a piece of evidence. It's inculpatory. How in the world could we call any of this evil unless, of course, there's a divine standard of good by which we could judge it and call it truly evil? So in the end, I think evil actually points to the existence of God.